Hey, good morning, fellow YouTubers. So I'm out here doing my morning routine with my dog. So I don't know if this is even visible, but the alarm goes off at 4:40, and then we have like one of three different places that we go to, and some are just walking, but most involve, or two of the three involve fetch, and one is just a long circular walk around the neighborhood. There was a fourth one that we would cross over the 405 and walk through this neighborhood in Westchester, but we got attacked by a coyote that wouldn't leave us alone. It was dramatic, and it went on for, God, it felt like 15 minutes, but it was probably about 5 or 6. But the coyote literally just kept coming after us, and I would chase it away. It would keep coming back, keep coming back. So I've never seen a coyote that brazen, especially with an adult male and a dog that weighs just as much as he does, probably at least, maybe more. And then he started calling out for his backup. He was making these really, really high-pitched yelps while he was just standing right in front of us. So that's when I just said, let's just run back to the boulevard as quickly as possible, and just keep an eye on our backside. And he came after us a couple times after I started running with the dog, but I would just stop, and then he would stop, and then I'd start running again, because I knew with all the noise and traffic of the boulevard, he pretty much wouldn't go there. So we don't go to that neighborhood anymore, because at the Inglewood Adobe, which is right there where I'd walk, they have all these stray cats that live under these old 3 structures there. And then you have this woman that lives across the street that feeds them every morning. She puts out like 5 cat bowls full of cat food. And so you have all these homeless cats, and so those coyotes have found out, I think. And so I think that neighborhood's just off limits. And it's even affected me when I do this 4-mile loop trail right up by Playa Vista. I even I'll take my big walking stick with a sharp metal tip on the end, because I could definitely see some coyotes being down there. There's so many rabbits down there. Okay, so this is my morning routine. Right now, I'm walking around a middle school with my dog off leash, because it's a huge block. My dog's smart enough not to go on the street. So we just circumnavigate this school. It's got a big grass front yard in the front. So we'll take breaks. I have a ball over there waiting for us. And then we play fetch. And then so we at least do one walk around the school to get his legs loose. Then play fetch for like 15 minutes. Then do another lap to also wind down from the running. And then we'll be going home, making breakfast, make treats, usually dog food shoved inside plastic containers, and then napkins on top, so the food can't readily come out easily. So he has to work at trying to get those napkins out with his tongue. And that kills time, and he has to use his intelligence. And then finally gets down to, once he removes the napkins, then he has to play with the container and toss it up in the air and stuff to get the pieces to come out, little pieces of food. And then he has his dog walker, but I just want to take you through the morning routine. So I'm going to turn you off now and turn you back on a bit later. Hey, we're back and making Ozzy's breakfast. And he always hangs out with me in the kitchen when we're doing that, because he gets some scraps sometimes. So here you see some chicken and rice. I normally have been feeding him primarily raw food. This is cooked chicken, but my goodness, the raw food has brought back years to his life. You know, for the first time in a long time, when I go to work, I haven't fully burned off his energy. He's still asking for fetch and, It's kind of a double-edged sword. I put in a little olive oil. Helps with the coat and just gives some of those healthy fats. I read somewhere that, you know, if you just feed your dog kibble, they're not getting any healthy fats. Without the healthy fats, their immune system drops. When their immune system drops, the cancer comes along. You know, dogs die of cancer so much more frequently than they used to back in the 70s and 60s when people were feeding them more table scraps and human grade food like this. This is chicken that I was eating last night. I mean, you know, people just think that you have to feed dogs dog food. That's a bunch of malarkey. You don't need to feed them dog food. So my dog mainly gets raw turkey, raw beef, ground up. He gets soup bones, you know, where he can eat the raw bone marrow out of them and then grind down the raw bones with his teeth. So I don't know if you noticed, but I just put in some coconut oil as well. Once again, some healthy fats. And also coconut oil is supposed to aid in digestion. I don't know how much of this stuff is true, but I just get a little bit of hot water going just to put in there, mix up the oils, and then some of the oils from the chicken will get in the water, and it makes a little, almost like a little bit of gravy. So it looks like a lot of food. I mean, my dog's 45 pounds, and that would be a meal for a human my size. You know, I'm 160 something. But, you know, most humans aren't out running laps for 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night, and just walking periodically all throughout the day. So, yeah, he gets pretty much 2 big meals every day, and he's as thin as could be, and then he gets snacks during the day. He finds food along the way. Now, this is a very important part of discipline right here, to get him to know that he has to wait and get a command before he can eat, because that's hard to do. Good boy. That's hard for them to do. So when they can do that, it shows that they're respecting you and respecting your authority. And look, you can even do this. Sit. Sit. And, you know, just to reinforce that discipline. Good boy. And then he gets a good boy, so he feels good about that. So that's my morning routine. And then now I get to go and get ready for work. And then once I leave, I will be putting this broken up into little pieces into a plastic container such as this milk container. Screw the lid on. Well, first I'll put in these two, because if I leave these out when I leave, he thinks that if he eats it really, really fast and gets to me before I go out the door, that I won't go to work or something like that. I don't know. But anything I leave down that's edible, like if I just left this whole thing down, it would be down in 2 chomps. He would just swallow it. It's gone. Because I don't know, he thinks if he eats the food I leave before I leave, I won't actually leave. That's what it seems like. But so, you know, this will be in there, and he'll be working on it for, you know, maybe 15 or 20 minutes. So I'll be out of his mind by the time he gets to these, and he can chew them more appropriately, because these are for chewing. You know, they're not for swallowing and eating like just food where you would just swallow. This is to clean his teeth and chew on slowly. They're very hard. So go in there. These will be broken up into little pieces. Will go in there. And then I leave usually this antler in the freezer with peanut butter all over it, frozen, so that when the dog walker goes to leave at like 12:30, 1 o'clock, she'll drop that antler from the freezer with the frozen peanut butter. And then that's you know, something to distract the dog walkers leaving, because these dogs don't like to be left alone. More than pretty much any breed, I think, They want to be with their one main master that they're bred to bond with very closely. They want to be with that person all day. And I think shepherds, for the most part, are kind of like that. Border collies, German shepherds. But I think Australian shepherds is just a little bit more. Like, yesterday I had an issue that I had to deal with. I actually had to be late for work. And I was dealing with this issue. And I was walking around quickly in my place, getting stuff and doing things. And he was just zipped to my side the whole time. I felt bad for him, kind of. It's like, he doesn't know what I'm doing. He can just tell that I'm kind of anxious and I'm trying to deal with something very quickly. And he's right there in it with me without really understanding what's going on. So he feels the anxiety, but at least I'm able to do steps A, B, and C that I know need to be done that are going to help reduce my anxiety in the moment. He doesn't know what's going on. All he knows is he picks up on that anxiety and he's glued to my side. So, it's hard to clean because, he blocks. The shepherds, sometimes they'll use their body to block and kind of corral you to where they want to go. So every time I'm in the kitchen, I go to leave into the living room, he'll block me. And then he'll look at me and really slowly move out of the way. So if I'm rushing, I've accidentally kicked him, I've tripped over him a number of times. It's really hard. And he needs a command and rewards to just sit on that. He has like a little like couch of his own. Sit on that couch and stay there. I would literally have to be giving him reminders and rewards to try to clean. And I haven't actually done that. Maybe I need to do that because I usually just try to work around him and step over him constantly. Maybe I need to do that a little bit more. But that's the morning routine. They're a great dog if you can meet their needs. That's kind of why I want to make this, is just to keep people in the know on what they require in order to be a great dog for you. So a lot of exercise, a lot of time with you, a lot of rewards, a lot of commands, a lot of basically you being the alpha male, the dominant one. That doesn't mean anything negative. It just means that you're the one in control, and then they appreciate that. They take cues from you on how they should be acting. So consistency is a big deal when you're in that role for the dog. But that was my morning routine. So I'm gonna go get ready and then drop these things when I leave, and then the dog walker will drop her thing when she leaves, and then I get home from work and it kind of starts up again a little bit with some dog walking. But hope you enjoyed it. Good morning, good night, and goodbye.